Trevor, it is 2025. It is time for new you, new things, and new magic cards. And today, we got spoilers again for Innistrad Remastered. We've been waiting weeks.
Were they even spoilers?
We'll get to that. We were supposed to let them know we got spoilers.
We got a couple spoilers.
We got a couple spoilers. You know, a good amount for a nibble. You know, something we should have seen in, I don't know, preseason.
Yeah.
Preseason was looking hot, right?
Yeah. Preseason was just straight fire.
I think we actually, our first video ever for MTG Hot Takes, which we haven't been doing this for very long, but it was about Innistrad Remastered, and it was about these spoilers. And we talked about the Emrakul. I'm not happy to see Eldrazi's again, but it is what it is. The Meat Hook Massacre, that was fucking fire. Edgar, my man, is getting reprinted again in all of his glory.
Heat.
They're absolute heat. If you guys have not seen the first video, I suggest you go watch it because it will be way more hype than what we're going to talk about right now. Because if you think this is going to be a fast video, the only reason why it's going to be long is because we have spicy things to say.
A lot of spicy things to say.
So I'm not going to sit on this preseason for much longer because we've had a video. We've talked about it. Let's go into spoiler season. This is the 3 cards we saw today. Only 3. This was
a spoiler. This was Wizards going, hey, spoiler season starts. Be prepared for a bunch of spoilers. And they give us 3 cards.
Now, don't get us wrong. One of these cards is around $30, $40, depending on where you buy it from. Or it can be like, I think I saw it today for TCG for like $9.
Yeah.
They are cool cards, but as it is, they're a remaster. We knew they were going to be reprints. Also, hot take, I really don't like this Thalia full art.
No,
I don't.
It's not great.
I don't like it. Out of all of the full arts we've seen so far, I think the dead bodies are really cool, but her face is kind of mannish. She's really weird. I think we have better art of her in full arts and secret layers.
Yep.
These were not great.
No. I think this was the most disappointing spoiler day that we've had in a minute. Just being at work and opening to see these were the only cards that were spoiled. I was just like, this ain't great. This isn't it. This isn't what I want whenever I'm seeing a reprint set. Because Ravnica Remastered, straight fire.
Yeah.
Straight fire. Dominaria Remastered, straight fire. And this is like this. Oh, hey, buddy, you're doing great. You're trying to do your thing, and it's not.
One of my favorite parts is when you type in Innistrad Remaster spoilers. One of the first thing that comes up is a Reddit post from about 4 days ago saying, "Hey, isn't it weird we haven't seen more spoilers, right? Because this comes out on the 25th at the end of the month." Now, I haven't looked at Aether Drift yet because I'm trying to wait, but it kind of feels like we might have seen more Aether Drift in other sets than Innistrad Remaster so far. And that's not good considering how much these boxes cost. I am a box buyer. I like popping packs. We were going to do a whole video of a box opening. You know, we were going to get some friends together at the house. We were going to live stream it. The prices on these boxes, and after seeing these today, I have no idea how anybody's making pre-sales on these boxes.
No, it's not great. Like, the value that we've seen so far is okay, but it's not anything to write home about. Because once this comes out, prices are going to start to drop. And then, like, this $30, $40 Mythic, it's going to be like $8.
Yeah. And we've already been seeing Edgar Markov's drop, right?
Yep.
I don't know if people will be searching for the serialized cards, but oh man, I mean that we'll talk about that one too.
Yep.
I was really thinking up until today because we knew spoilers were happening today, right? There was a lot of articles that were posted saying we were going to get them, and I was like, surely this will be what ropes me back in, right? We've been watching prices from our our card shops. The lowest that we've seen is $170 for a play box, which is really good. A lot of other places are saying about $200 for a play box, $300 for a collector's. And then this came out, and I was like, you know what? Singles.
buy your singles. This isn't. It's not worth the price.
And singles for these reprints, they're gonna go down.
100%.
If
You're
you're
not
looking
gonna.
for these cards, they'll be lowering.
Yeah, so they also they didn't show what their full arts are gonna look like for the Gisela and Bruna
Hmm.
for the other side. And if it's not the secret layer that they got, it's not gonna be
Are
worth
you
it.
talking about their flip side where they
Well,
meld?
so
Because we did see those.
we do know what the back of the meld looks like, but I was talking about their front side because the secret layer for the front side is different. It's a
Mm.
better art.
Mm-hmm.
That's the art that you were looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these were. I have a feeling those flips are going to be the usual flips. I think these are strictly going to be reprints, and I am not about it.
This is the oh, you have to take your cousin to prom. That's what this feels like.
Yeah,
Nobody wants it.
yeah. So besides the disappointment today, right? I feel like this would not deserve the roast that it did if we had been given one more than three cards, but two, where did we go wrong in the beginning? Like the you want to
Movie
talk to this?
posters only being in collector packs. Uh, the Edgar.
The, we don't need to talk about the Edgar. We can keep going right along over that one. We got a whole short about it.
The Deadeye Navigator being, yeah, it's in the retro foil, but it's
Do
you're
we
gonna be
know
able to.
what's the box toppers? Is this it?
That's what it is.
Oh fuck.
Do you know how disappointing? Yeah,
That's sad.
it's so sad. But yeah, this is what you get for playing in the preview event, and then it's also what your pre-order box topper is, and it's just
Oof. Are we getting buy
cool.
boxes too or no?
That's what this is. That the buy box
Oh,
is
I didn't know.
the
So
Deadeye.
I know there's usually like box toppers in the box, right? And then there's like you buy. There's a
Oh,
buy a box from stores that
you
have them.
normally get one or the other.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah, this is the hey buddy. Um, we know commander players like 5 years ago like the Deadeye Navigator combos. We'll bring it back for you.
And it's such a shame because the Emmercool was really cool, and I also really liked the Meat Hook
Yeah.
movie poster print. I'm not spending $300 for a box to hopefully hit them. I'll just buy them as singles if I really want them.
Well, there's also only 10 movie poster cards.
Yeah,
Like we haven't seen what they are, or we've seen three of them because Edgar's serialized as one of them.
yeah. It's not
It's
great.
it's a letdown.
It is a huge letdown.
And if this has any, because the last couple years, the first set for um the year, that pretty much dictated how your year was gonna go for Wizards.
Yeah.
And so, like last year, we had Ravnica remastered, set with some heat.
Mm-hmm.
We had some major reprints that were gonna be very well versed,
Yeah.
and that were playable in all formats, not just Commander. This one feels like it's trying to tug on the nostalgia strings for the players that started with Innistrad, but
Mm-hmm.
we've also seen a lot of Eldritch Moon, which that's back in 2016, 2017, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
I will
I don't
say
want to see the newer Innistrad sets and the remastered set.
what is interesting is I've heard a little bit throughout after this was posted, there are people coming out with Edgar decks. There's more. I see more of them coming out of the woodworks right now, and I know that they're running proxies. So I feel like we're gonna be seeing a lot of Edgar decks, right? Because he is the vampire commander. So
Yep.
I'm just like, haha, look at me. I had mine before this. High five me. Uh, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't really want to see a bunch of Edgar decks. I know what he does. If you want a vampire tribal commander, he's really, really good at it, and he's a good commander. But I'm just like, there's better ones out there. This is definitely a
100%.
older commander. He's doing things from the command zone, but there are scarier commanders nowadays.
Yeah.
This is not exactly the most like fire heat thing that you could pull out. Um, yeah, I
I
don't
was gonna
have a lot to say here.
I was gonna say, going back to that, what the year looks like. I'm looking. I just pulled up the schedule for what it was in 2020. 2020 had Theros Beyond Death, and that had so many major cards.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
COVID had better cards at the beginning of the year than what we are getting now.
Because
And
MTG
people weren't even
is
able to play Magic.
MTG has had to go back into the office. You know, they can't work from home on their Magic cards. I mean, I'll be real too. We have seen more Marvel Secret Lair cards, I feel like, than the Innistrad Remastered. I
Yep.
don't know if Disney is like, you need to pump out this, and so Innistrad's just like falling by the wayside. But, I mean, Aether Drift is eventually going to be coming out in February. I will probably buy a box of that now because I've gone into Standard. Final Fantasy, it looks very, very promising. I'm actually stupid excited for that.
That will also be in Standard.
If, for whatever reason, this is the one that needs to suck the most butt, so be it. Duskmourn was a really strong out for 2024. Who knows? Maybe you start rock bottom for 2025 and we'll have a glow up by the end of the year. Who knows?
Yeah, we're starting with dog turds and ending with SpongeBob.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
We're all going to be goofy goobers by the end of the year.
Oh, no. We're going to have a whole segment on that, too.
If you think this is rough, SpongeBob is coming.
Mm.
Who's ready to catch some jellyfish? Whole new mechanic.
No. Well, with all of that being said, is it worth it? I mean, this can be shortened up real simply, and it's no.
It's meh.
It's meh. It's there. You know, if there's something in here that tickles your fancy, you know, enough things in here for it, and you have the disposable income around tax return season, granted, you're not going to see it before the Innistrad release comes out, but maybe you held on to a Christmas bonus and you were going to treat yourself. Sure.
I don't know. I don't even know if it's worth treating yourself.
I was going to say, if you're looking for a lot of these cards and you don't want to buy singles and you want to pop packs like the goth baddie you think you are, sure.
There's just... So, I think my biggest gripe about the Innistrad Remaster, and I know we're on the is it worth it slide, I don't think it's worth it because there is so many major cards they could have done.
Mm-hmm.
And we've just gotten cards that are like, oh, yeah, that's kind of cool. Like Thalia, Gisela, and Bruna. All three of those were from Eldritch Moon. Guess what? That not worth it.
Well,
we
also,
could have seen...
I think the dollar figure is awkward.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that I'll look at MTG stocks and I'll do an analysis to see what it's looking like once we get all the spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're probably going to see packs going for like $9-10, and then the return that it shows from stocks is going to be like 4 or 5.
Sure.
So it's going to be just a complete half for
Sure.
what the value is per pack ratio, and it's just not going to be worth overall.
No. And it's one of those things too when you talk about that kind of stuff. It's like I think I bought, granted it was not that long ago, it was a couple months ago, I think in like the summertime, I bought the double feature box, and I think it was like $260 or something like that.
Yep.
And a collector's for Innistrad Remasters is going for $300. And granted, you're getting like the movie poster cards, but the whole thing about the double feature was they're all black and white, right? Every single card, but every single card was different. Yeah. They were the same printings, but they really weren't in a way. And we don't even get that. You're going to get the same crap that you're going to get in a play box that's going to look the exact same, minus you might hit a movie poster, right? You get a 1 in 10 movie poster.
You also can't get foil retros and play boosters for these.
Oh, that's right. The foil retros. But let's be real. My opinion, I think foils are becoming obnoxious. I'm tired of foils.
100%. Yep.
I think foiled retros actually is kind of mid. I like retros by themselves. I either want foils so it looks new, and I want like crazy colors. Like the Galaxy foil is really cool when you get to see that, like the Cosmos. Yep. But foiling a retro, like just make it a retro. You don't need to foil it out too. Look, if you like your Pringles
are pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't like my cards being Pringles. Just saying. And if they're retro, I want them to be straight. I want them fucking crisp. That way, you know, they look like they've come from the retro sets, and I've just taken really good care of them. Just don't pay attention to the set, you know, little ID on it. Don't look at that. Don't look at the set icon.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard because this being the beginning of the year is, I think, what makes it the hardest thing because of how this shows like, hey, this is what our year is going to look like. This is what you can kind of expect.
Mm-hmm.
And then it being one, we're not getting spoilers as much as we've gotten in the past, which
Yep.
I think is really big. And then two, the spoilers we have gotten, only a handful of them are great. I think
Or
that,
you're just getting a handful.
yeah,
We literally got, like I said, we got 3 today. Um, so that's
hopefully we get
stupid
more
awkward.
later this week, but just three is the beginning of your spoiler season whenever they're hyping it up like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is going to be great. And nothing against the two ladies that were on the MTG thing revealing the cards.
Mm-hmm.
They Wizards posted it on their YouTube channel like, hey, check out this podcast, this is what the spoilers are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even spoil the cards on like a live stream, so the hype was already just not there.
Right.
Because what we saw for Duskmorn, what we saw for Outlaws of Thunder Junction, we had um just a Twitch live stream and it was showing like, hey, these are back, these are what's going, and then it's the, here's just a quick YouTube video where you can watch it at your own pace.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that that's nice, but some people want the hype of being like, oh, I'm in the live stream, let me ask a couple questions. And it's not, just not, it feels like they are caring less, if that makes sense.
For sure. I feel like too the Innistrad remaster stuff right now, like Duskmorn was hype. It was hella hype,
Yeah,
right? We got this new, like it was supposed to be this new realm. There was a cool story behind it. The nightmares were really cool, and like the FOMO, right, and all these different horror things, and everyone grasped onto it hell of aggressively.
yeah.
And I think Duskmorn probably did very, very well. I would argue probably better, one of the best ones that they had last year. Like I said, coming out of 2024, swinging hard. Innistrad Remastered feels like it's just trying to live on the tail skirts of going, oh, everyone loved Duskborn. Let's do vampires and demons and angels. Let's go back to Innistrad. Because Duskborn was such a cash cow. And this feels so lackluster. Like they really didn't plan the set, and now they're trying to scramble to grab cards.
We've been to Innistrad so much in the
Mm-hmm.
past like 10 years because I think we've had 4 or 5 Innistrad sets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want any more vampire things. I don't care about werewolves. And they're just shoving them down your throat. And I'm like, there's so much more you could do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just making it rough.
Well, and it's awkward too. We talked about whatever the last sweat was, where we actually had a good story behind it, and then we kind of just like we took it and we shelved it, and there's been no new lore. We've gone to all these new planes. A great example would be like Outlaws of Thunder Junction, right? And it's just kind of like, oh, it's just another universe, and everybody's here, and you're like,
Oh, I liked Outlaw's
okay,
story.
but that's my point though. Is like, right? We're not establishing. Remember, like I remember one of the trailers that you showed me, which was the one with Liliana
Oh, the War of
versus
the Spark
Ugin.
trailer.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
that was
really
so
cool.
good.
We haven't, I don't feel like we've had something like that. I don't know if it's just gearing towards newer people, a newer generation, but I think right now MTG feels like it's focusing aggressively on a younger demographic. You can tell that with the SpongeBob that we talked about. We talked about the Marvel thing.
Yep.
I think Final Fantasy also towards a younger demographic, but also like a lot of us are stupid stoked about it, so I'm not gonna dog on it.
I was gonna say, are you excited to
But
play Sephiroth and Shieldred in a deck?
yes, 100% yes. But that's kind of my thing is I think they're focusing on too many big name things because granted a lot of big name things did really really well, right? You had Baldur's Gate,
Yep.
D&D, you had Lord of the Rings, the Warhammer stuff did stupid well. I mean, those all did great, and Secret Lairs keep doing collaborations which are doing
Yep.
really really well, but it feels like as cool as it is to get all these crossovers and these multiverse things, it doesn't really feel like Magic anymore. Like, it all kind of feels like this weird joke. I want this grimy, weird world again where we have odd arts and we have its own story, not we're
Yep.
borrowing someone else's story.
You want to know what it feels like? Feels like we're playing Villainous.
Oh,
Just saying.
it's fair. It's fair. And I wonder
Like,
if that's part of it too. Is I don't know, is MTG competing with other, TCGs, CCGs? Is it like, what is it? Blue Archive came out this year and that's been popular. I think. I don't know if it's been out this year. I know it's popular. I know One
it's been
Piece
out
came
for
out too.
the One Piece card game has been from what I've seen, it's been a hoot.
Hmm.
Pokemon releasing their Pokemon TCG game. I have been
Yes.
playing the hell out of that on my phone,
Yep.
and I've been popping packs, and I've been like, I wouldn't be opposed to playing some Pokemon because one, the decks are super cheap to play.
Hmm.
Because I was looking at the deck prices, and it was like $200 for like a tier 1 deck, and I'm like, that's doable,
As opposed to a legacy deck.
which is like 2,000.
Yeah, on the low end.
Yeah.
But like, I wonder if that's part of it too. I wonder if Wizards is feeling that crunch, that heat, right, of trying to compete in that kind of TCG world that we're in right now, right? Everyone's seeing it across the board for a bunch of different medias. Anime is now heavily prevalent in Western culture. I wouldn't say as much as it is in actual Japan, but I mean, it's pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if maybe Wizards feels like, or I keep saying Wizards and everyone corrects me that it's Hasbro now, which is fair, but I'm wondering if that is possibly the draw too, and that's why we're not seeing as many like, original Magic cards. And I'm wondering if maybe that's why Innistrad Remastered doesn't feel like it's doing good. Maybe they think that remaster cards won't sell. Or, like you said, they're trying to call to people that have been in the game for a while and maybe want to see some of these older cards that haven't had a reprint. It just feels weird. It feels like it doesn't have a place.
Yeah. I also, this is Hasbro's cash cow.
Hmm.
I can't name the last thing that was major that Hasbro produced.
I don't want to try and say I don't, because I might. I just may not be.
Like I think Beyblade is the last big thing they had.
No. Oh, that's Mattel. Never mind. I was gonna say Barbie got a huge new thing, but that's Mattel. That's different.
Yep.
I don't. I
Yep.
don't know. What's also interesting too is we talked about Ravnica Remastered. So after Ravnica Remastered, we went into Murders of Karlov, which also had its Clue edition, and that felt very fluid.
Yeah.
Again, Innistrad Remastered is coming off the skirts of Duskmourn. Duskmourn also had a really good release time where it was kind of in like that Halloween-ish time frame.
Yeah.
This just feels odd. I hope that with the continuation of this, I don't think we're going to see anything this week. Honestly, I was hoping most of last week we were going to see something, maybe a Christmas spoiler set where they're going to be like, hey, happy holidays, here's Innistrad spoilers.
Here's
or
2 cards.
or like a New Year's thing, right? Or they just got done at I think they just got done doing a convention of some sort.
Yeah, SCG Con Atlanta was the weekend.
But they chose Aetherdrift, right?
No, they didn't do any spoilers at all.
Okay, so the last event they did Aetherdrift. Oh, speaking of Aetherdrift too, I found something also entertaining. It was on the lines of the Reddit thing. I went onto our Twitter today and someone tweeted saying, 2 weeks till Aetherdrift spoilers. Who's excited? Well, hopefully it comes out swinging harder than Innistrad, because
It's either going to swing hard or it's going to blow hard.
yeah. I mean, everybody likes race cars, right?
Yeah, but it's just going to be a red line in the set.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm ready to play some Fast and Furious.
Hear me out. Ooh.
By the way, I like that this video was supposed to be for Innistrad Remastered, and we have talked more about Aetherdrift. That alone should tell you guys, is it worth it? No.
No.
Wait for Aetherdrift. Again, Aetherdrift, you can also play Standard. If you're like me and played Commander, and you're thinking about going into Standard in another format, buy a box then. You're going to be looking for commons, uncommons. Honestly, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a couple of fancy art cards, Singles out of Innistrad Remastered, they're going to be dirt fucking cheap. I
Yep.
guarantee it. And I'm going to save my money and I'm going to go buy a box of Aether Drift because it's probably going to take me a lot further, a lot faster.
You want to know what you can do?
Hmm.
You can wait till the weekend of February 9th where we have SCG Con Portland.
It's true.
Because then cards are going to be cheaper.
That's very true.
Because that's like 2 weeks after the release.
And that is in Portland. You said it was free entry, right?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So if you guys live in the Pacific Northwest and you want to take the trip to Portland, be it a couple hours or a couple minutes, go check that out because that's cool. And there's a good chance we'll probably be going.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hoot. I'm trying to figure out where it's at. I think it's in.
I'm gonna assume it's in the convention center.
I think you're right. It's the 6th through the 9th.
Hell yeah.
Or 7th through the 9th.
For February?
Yeah.
Cool.
And there's going to be an artist alley there too.
Yo.
I'm actually looking at the artist right now.
Is it artists from Magic or is it just open to general? Oh, that's sick.
So like, I'm trying to think of one that you would know. You remember the cat from Wild of Eldraine that makes the rat tokens whenever an enchantment hits your graveyard?
I think so.
The artist for that will be there.
That's cool.
And then RK Post, he's done a lot of cards. You probably know some that he's done. Some major ones that he's done are he's done Arbor Elf. Arbor Elf is pretty good. He's done the Commander Masters Extended Art Counterspell.
Yeah.
I know you know that one because you play Counterspell.
I play a lot of counterspells.
You play a lot of Counterspells because you're a dirty blue player.
Yeah.
He's just done some really good art overall.
Hell yeah.
He did the Thought Vessel art.
Oh, cool.
So there's a lot of good ones that he's done that I think are really good. He did the full art World Gorger Dragon from Dominaria Remastered.
Sure. I mean, regardless, we went to PAX and I met somebody that was a magic artist. She did, correct me if I'm wrong, she did the Kaikar from Commander Masters.
I think so.
And that was really cool. So even if I don't know the artist, I am a slut for an artist alley. And meeting magic artists is really cool. And most of the time they're willing to do commissions and do tokens.
Yep.
So that's always a plus. Or if you have memorabilia that is their art, they're usually really excited to sign it. So that's really fucking dope.
100%.
We will ask our editor to put a link to that event down in the comments or the description of this video.
Yeah, 100%.
But I want to get us back on track really quick.
Yep.
Because now we have done everything we can to lengthen out this video, as sad as that sounds. Again, we spent more time talking about other things than we talked about Innistrad Remastered. You have any other comments? Any other thoughts?
Buy singles.
Buy singles.
Buy singles.
I mean, buy singles until we find out what more Magic has up their sleeves. Because, I mean, yeah, again, it's not worth it right now. We're lucky enough, again, there's a Magic store near us that is doing play boxes for about $170, which is not terrible. It's not
the
great.
Lowest we've seen.
It's the lowest we've seen. You're going to probably see people averaging more around the 180, 200, which is really sad because I went to one of our game shops and they're doing set boosters and play boosters for like 134 of things that I think are equally as good, if not better.
Like Wilds of Eldraine.
Like Wilds of Eldraine, because I've opened a ton of that lately.
You sure have, bud.
But, I mean, yeah. Only the future will tell. And honestly, I was hoping today that the future was going to prove me to, pull the trigger and buy a box. But
today was not the day.
Today was not the day. Tomorrow might not be the day. There might not even be a day. But you know what?
You might not be pulling the trigger.
I might not be pulling the trigger, but all of my MTG friends will be happy when I tell them that I'm just going to buy singles this set. And with that, we're going to sign off. Good luck, everybody, in your Innistrad adventures. Let us know down in the comments if you think that we're full of shit and that the spoilers were actually super hot. And if you think that, you should go check out the secret layers of the cards that were spoiled today, because then you will be very wrong.
Yep, exactly. And on that note, have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.